I will make you understand. Hi, today I want to talk a little bit about why this game feels so weird to DDR players, talk a little bit about the metrics and the changes that feel very strange if you're coming as a DDR main to move over and try and have fun with Pump It Up. Alright, first thing we need to talk about is the heart system. When you start the game, either in basic mode or in full mode, you start with a number of hearts depending on the way that your game center has the machine set up. It can either be 4 or 5 hearts. You use those to play songs. If you're playing something that's a normal arcade length, this requires 2 hearts. You'll see them blinking. The 2 hearts on the left are blinking because of these normal length songs. If you go to the top menu, you could also select remixes that require 3 hearts. You could select full songs that require 4 hearts. Or you could go play shortcuts that require 1 heart. If you play a shortcut, you will lose that heart no matter what. If you play a normal length song, getting a score of A or better, any kind of S or an A, it can be a broken A, it can be a fail, will get you back 1 heart afterwards. So you go down to, for playing a normal length song, you will go down to 3, but if you get an A, you'll go back up to 4 at the end of the song. If you come in here to remix, you get 1 back if you get an A or better. If you go to full song, you get 1 back. I'm sorry, you get 2 back for getting an A or better. So with 5 hearts, it is very easy to come in here, play a full song that uses up 4, you still have 1 left. It brings you back to 3 hearts at the end of the song. You come in here to remix with your 3 hearts, you play a song, it gives you back 1 at the end of the song, and then you'll have a shortcut. If you ever find yourself being put into the shortcut folder when you didn't expect to be, it's because you only have 1 heart left. Getting a grade of worse than A on any song will not refund you any hearts, so you will just have whatever's left over. If you get an F on a song at any time, the game will kick you out unless there are special circumstances like a mission. The game will end the game immediately after that stage. You'll notice that mashing works much better in this game. I'm not even looking at the screen, I'm kind of just hitting all of the arrows that are involved in this chart, and I'm not really losing health a whole lot. As a matter of fact, as long as I don't get too many bads, I kind of combo a lot. Every individual arrow just checks all of the steps, whereas if you try to mash in DDR, hitting the arrows in the wrong order does not actually work properly. You do not get the grades that you're hoping for. In this game, you can just mash really hard and it's actually fun. Which then brings us to our problem. This game has a bad window. The biggest form of mash prevention in this game is the bad window. You'll notice if I hit very, very early, I start to get a grade result called bad. This mirrors some very old DDR, but that grade hasn't existed in DDR for a very long time. Getting a bad does cost you health, and it breaks combos. It is marginally better than missing the arrow, but just not helpful in general. You have to be very far off to get a bad, and the bad window gets extremely small if you're playing on hard judge. But it does appear on the end result, and that is the only form of mash prevention. Aside from the bad, you can just roll over all the arrows all of the time, and basically face no kind of detriment for that. Freeze arrows in Pump function very, very differently than they do in DDR. You don't actually have to step on the beginning of it unless there is a separate step. You can just hold down the buttons like I'm doing right now. However, you cannot pulse the freezes like you do very often in DDR. It's very dangerous to try and pulse on freeze arrows. What I'm doing right now, where you jump on it. Because if you're not fast enough for the ticks, or if you're on the wrong time for the ticks, it's very easy to miss the freeze arrows like I'm doing now. It's a lot easier to foot switch on a freeze, but if you try to jump and hit it a second time, you're taking your life in your hands. You're probably going to go ahead and drop it and get misses. That's a standard behavior from DDR that just does not work well in this game. The last few examples I want to talk about are a little bit more difficult to demonstrate, so I'll just try and describe them in words. The life bar for the game is not uniform. If you see your health going up and down in the middle of the life bar, it's because the visual display of the life bar is skewed. Towards the end, you'll only gain and lose a little bit visually, even though those numbers are consistent with the numbering system of the game. Basically, the life bar isn't even, like it would be in DDR. Near to the bottom and near to the top, you will see very small gains, but don't freak out. There's another odd thing to do with the life bar, which is that you can actually get more life than is available on the screen. This requires you to play above, we think, level 10. Definitely by level 15, you're getting some kind of overflow health bar. If you're playing at the very, very top levels of the game, playing up to 26s through 28s, it may be possible to even get as much as 2 life bars. Those can't be visually displayed, and when you start getting misses, you don't actually lose health bar on screen because you're losing the health bar that is overflow. It's very weird and it's not super well understood, but we know that it's a real thing, and it's very tough to do testing to try and figure out the exact math on that. That's a developing thing that we've been trying to study for about 4 years now, and it's very, very tough to get exact answers, but we know that it exists, so I figured I'd mention it. In this example of a D25, I've already started with overflow health, and while you can see many bads and misses during the outro, no visible health bar is lost because I'm only losing the amount that is over 100% life bar. One of the things that very much frustrates older players as they switch over from DDR to pump is that there don't seem to be any rules as to what pump charts can do. They will gladly hit you with a 50 arrow freeze, with a split that requires you to reach all the way across the pad, with a foot switch that lasts for 20 seconds. The game does not care. It will make you hit 4 arrows at a time that can't be hit by your feet. Some even require you to hit 6 arrows at a time. It does not give a crap. Anything older than this, going to Series Zone, if you find anything from first through Perfect Collection, all the way up through NX to NXA, you are in the wild, wild west. You have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. If you play in Fiesta and more recently, the rules are a little clearer. The game is less likely to troll you unless you're playing absolute boss level content. It will still pull some stuff, but basically if you don't want to have to freak out at random stuff, try and stick to Fiesta and more recent. And the last thing that I want to mention is that edit mode works in this game. It has a fully functioning edit mode with a website dedicated to it that allows you to make your own charts, share them with others, download things that other people have made. That website is here, shown at the bottom of the screen. You can see it down there, or it will be linked in the description below this video. You will have an entire zone dedicated to it from the top menu, and it will allow you to play whatever you've saved to your card. Your card can only hold so many at a time, so you can't really hold hundreds. I think you're limited to 10. But you can always take those off and play others and save whatever you want to keep on your card. Alright, I think that's enough for now. Good luck with everything. Hope you're enjoying the game, and just go ahead and have fun with it. Hope to see everybody at Mistake on the Lake 4, and help to keep the game growing.